flour comes out there. Today we're talking about flour in my series about everything that you need to know on how to make yeast breads at home. I'm going to teach you everything I know, and today we're talking about flour. This is an all-purpose flour, and it really is what it says. It can be used in almost any type of baking. You can use it in cookies, brownies, quick breads, or yeast breads. This brand, Kirkland brand, is what I've been using most often right now just because of the price and the availability of it. And one important thing to notice when you're using flours in yeast breads is the amount of protein that you find in flour. Kirkland stamps it right on here. It says it's 11.5% protein in this flour. Some all-purpose flours, it's very hard to find it. It's not going to be on the package, and you have to do some research. King Arthur has 11.7% in their all-purpose flour. And so you're going to find a range. Bread flours have a higher protein level, and King Arthur starts at 12.7% protein in the flour. Protein is really important in the making of bread because the protein attaches to the gluten and provides a structure for the bread. One of the reasons that people like to use bread flour in making bread is because that higher protein level creates more structure in that bread. I primarily just use all-purpose flour. There are a few other flours that I use in different types of bread too. So this is from Wheat, Montana. This is a white wheat flour, and it's a little bit different than a red wheat flour. This flour, the red wheat, is what we typically think about when we think of whole wheat bread. It is usually made with a red wheat flour. White wheat is a different type of wheat. It's a spring white wheat, and it looks white in color, and it has a much milder flavor than the red wheat flour. These are both great for baking with, but they're going to be different types of bread that we're going to be using. There are a couple of different types of flours that are not recommended at all for baking. You're not going to get the same sort of results. So one of them is a 1-to-1 gluten-free flour. There are recipes out there that you can use this in to make bread. They're going to be adding other things because this doesn't have gluten. This is what causes bread to rise and creates the structure. So you have to add other ingredients to this. If you want to make a gluten-free bread with this type of flour, find a recipe that specifically uses gluten-free flour. Do not use a regular recipe and substitute it. Your bread will have no structure. You won't even get it to rise. Another one that I recommend not using is a cake flour. So cake flour has the lowest amount of protein in flour, and it's removed because you want cakes that are nice and light and fluffy, and it doesn't do the same thing within bread. Almond flour is another one I don't recommend. It's just like the gluten-free. There may be specific recipes out there if you're wanting to use almond flour. It's going to be a different type of a bread, but don't just substitute either of these for a regular yeasted bread.